So today we're going to talk a lot about fashion. So let's put all the politics aside and what is happening in the world right now, especially here in the United States. We know there's so much going on, but for now, this week is all about fashion, fashion, fashion. So many fashion weeks going on in LA, Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, and of course here in Minnesota, we have Nubiultimaterunway, which is going to be tomorrow. So we're going to cover a lot more of that at the end. So stick around, watch the whole entire show, and we'll give you more updates on the final detail for Nubiultimaterunway tomorrow. And for now, we have a very special guest that flew to Minnesota all the way from LA. So it's his first time coming to Minnesota. And of course, Minnesota is a big city, right? So it's still one of the top 10. So the fact that we are bringing this, huge, enormous fashion show, entertainment, especially in the African industry, for all the voices of the diaspora and all the Americans that are so supportive here in Minnesota, is changing the whole entire concept here in Minnesota. So to give you guys a little bit more information on who our special guest is, I didn't want to mention it too much. I kind of wanted to keep it a secret and have it a surprise tomorrow. But since it's Saturday night and this is our normal evening for the talk show, this man has been involved with Ankara, and a lot of the Ankara are very well known in West Africa, especially in Nigeria. If you guys have seen a lot of the Nigerian custom, the weddings and their style, all these colors and patterns. This man is, I call him the king of Ankara, all the way from LA. But he's here in Minnesota, and it's actually a really exciting opportunity for myself and I, since I have been traveling back to LA for his show. He is one of the biggest producers for a very big major show called Ankara Festival LA. Ankara Festival LA. You can look that up in all social media or even Google it. And everything else will pop up. His show is phenomenal that he does every year in September. So this September, he decided to flew out here. So we're going to give a short introduction of who he is. So I'm going to introduce him and bring him on. And then he's going to explain to you guys a little bit more of who he is. And then we're going to go ahead and chat about, how he has been in the industry and how it has taken him this far. And I'm actually one of his biggest fans. So I always love having my collections on his runway. He is my biggest inspiration. So this is actually pretty huge. So Peter Lentini is here with us. So let's bring him on.
Thank you for having me. How are you? How are you doing?
I am well. I'm excited. I'm anxious. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know. I mean, it's my second year, so yeah. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel exactly yet.
Like I said when I saw you, I'm shocked that you were this relaxed and composed. Knowing what tomorrow is all about. Yes. I don't see myself sitting down for an interview like this the weekend of Ankara Festival, any of my shows, and sitting down having an interview. A quick story. I remember someone flew out from DC. I think it's 2015.
You
to cover.
Remember the year?
Oh yeah, stories. I have stories for years. So she flew out in 2015 to LA to cover Ankara Festival and then do like like what we're doing now, do a special. And the plan was during the show we'll take time out, have sit in one area, create a set, and then do the interview. We could never find time. During the interview, we could never find time during that weekend. The only opportunity that came up was like on a Sunday morning, like 4 a.m. So my assistant woke me up and said, "Hey, we have to do this interview. Quick shower." They, decked up and just sat somewhere. If you look at the interview, you could tell that I just woke up. That was the only time we find to do the interview. So you sitting here, I really admire that. Yes, that's amazing.
I really observed a lot from you. To be
really
honest,
that's amazing.
I observed a lot from you. I mean, going back to 2015, knowing that it was my first show going out in LA, you know?
Yeah.
I really didn't know what to expect or anything like that. But it's like, as soon as I was there and everything was happening and I walked into the venue, and I was just like, oh my God, this is like bigger than I thought, you know? I'm just like this little mouse in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
And so I really had no word to express, but just so stunned, you know, with how well it was.
And I taken note. Yeah, I kind of took interest in when I saw your line. I think you were the first, not East African, but you were the first, I would say, Sudanese / Ethiopian to showcase at the festival. So I took interest in that. And I remember I remember vividly your line that year. You know, it was so Ethiopian.
And you know how I felt? It was like all the designers were all Ankara,
and you know, and sometimes it's a good thing. It's a good thing sometimes, you know, to stand out. And I remember vividly what that line looked like in 2015, and I followed how, you know, the following year you came as well, and I saw how you merged both cultures together. You know, in your line. Then I've seen how you went from being in the middle to now almost fully like what you've been doing with Ankara. You know, then the men's line, I'm looking at all of that. I'm like, so for me, you know, I took so much interest and I saw the growth, right? Just like I've seen so many designers come through Ankara Fest and I've seen their growth, and I'm like amazing. I mean, I'm amazed to see.
I don't remember who asked me, either it was you or one of your assistants. They're like, you know, do you have something Ankara?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Let me work on that. I'll come back. I promise. I keep coming back every year.
So I saw that.
Prove myself.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw how you merged both, and I saw how you then went full Ankara.
Yeah.
I mean, it was truly good. It's truly amazing. I mean, you've done pretty well with Nubi collections, which I think, and one of the reasons why I'm here as well. Just because, like I said, I took interest and I've seen the growth, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to come last year as well. But I couldn't make it. But I'm like, this year, why not? We're not doing
this year's
Ankara
better.
Fest. I'm like,
the first year, I don't want to risk it.
So I got to be here. So thank you for having me.
Wow. You know, I don't know if you noticed, like, the whole transition, like you mentioned, you know, like when I first came on to Ankara Festival LA, it was all Ethiopian fashion,
right?
You know,
right?
Solid colors with like the embroidery,
the embroidery,
like that.
Yeah.
And then the second year I went back, and then I had one Ankara. The third time I went back, and now I had like half Ankara.
Yeah.
And then the last show that I did, I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
2 years ago, I came up with like a whole mix of like the American.
You closed the show that year.
Ankara.
You closed the show that year. Yeah. It was amazing.
And I was just like, I got it now. Like, I'm good, you know? I'm good.
Yep. It's amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Good job.
Oh my God.
Good job.
And also, you know, it's unbelievable. Like, this is happening right now, and you're here, you know? Because it's like that first moment I walked into Ankara Festival, you know, first I observed like everything that you were doing, even though I didn't know you yet. You know, I still didn't know you. I was mostly interacting with like the assistants and the models and whatever, you know, like we just run off and then like go take pictures. And then the second year, I think that's kind of where I had a solid introduction with you. But you were still like so busy with everything. There was never a moment to like
sit down and
say hi. You know?
Yeah.
And then the third time, this is where I kind of got to know you a little bit more, you know? Even at, I think there was like one show, and then I just had a meltdown.
I remember.
And you were so generous. Like, you were so caring to help out and make it work. You were like, no, we got this. We're going to make it work, you know?
Yeah.
And you know the lesson I took from that? I said, that's how a leader should be, you know? So I observed your character. I observed how calm you are in these chaotic places, you know, because the fashion industry is such a really fast world. And there's always chaos, always, you know. But the way you handle it, that really taught me a lot.
Thank you.
You know.
you know, with Ankara Festival, again, I always tell people who care to listen or who ask me, like, you know, so is this like, you know, what is Ankara Festival? And the first thing I tell them is, this is not Fashion Week.
Yeah.
You know, this is not Fashion Week. This is African fashion.
African.
For Africans, by Africans, because the goal of Ankara Fest is to give a platform to African designers, right? You know, no shade to Fashion Week or any other fashion show. It's not about business for us, right? It's about growth. It's about, you know, representation, right? So with issues like that, where you show up with your assistant and, you know, the entire collection is left behind, and you know, the tendency for any other show will probably be like, oh, what? How can you forget that? How can you do this? How can you do that? Cut that out of the show. You know, for me, it wasn't that. You have a great collection, like most other designers, right? The goal is to showcase that, right? The goal is not to just have you there, put you on the run, have your models go up and down, and then keep you moving and we forget you, right? The goal is to make sure we give you that platform, right? Put you in the midst, you know, like I said, I've watched you grow. I've watched your designs, you know, transcend something else. So that's why you would see a reaction like that from myself and the team. Like, oh, okay, that happened. Okay, we look. All right, we can do this. We can switch this around. We can switch that around, because we don't want you to miss out on the show, and we don't want people to miss out on your collection, because it is important. Those two coming together is what gives us the, you know, what gives us the rise, right? What helps us grow, what puts us out there. So we can't just cut that out, you know. So that's why we do that. And that's why you see there's a lot of return. The return rate for designers to Ankara Fest is high. It's very high. Like, most of the designers that come through really want to come back the following year, right? Because, you know, again, the show is great, you know, and the people are even way better, right? The ambience is amazing. Like you said, you walk into the building or into the venue, and you're amazed by what we have put together, right? So a lot of designers want to always come back for the show. So we have to say, we can only give room to, you know, XYZ, this many designers, because we want to also give new designers that platform as well. So every year we run in, how many designers from last year or 2 years ago do we want back, or are we going to accept back? You know, how many new designers do we need to take? You know, because again, we can't just discard designers from the previous years, because the new designers need to learn from the previous designers that has been there before. They see the calmness, they understand the show, they know how it's done. So when other designers are seeing, you know, new designers are seeing previous designers, they're just being calm, doing what they need to do, being there on time and all that. They learn from that. Like, oh, there's no need to panic and rush and all that. Just be, you know, just do what you need to do at the right time. And then we get the show going. So, and that's why we've been going for that many years.
God bless you. Like, this is your true calling, and God has blessed you all the way through.
Yeah.
Because I could say, you know, all those designers, a lot of African designers, you open the door for them. I gotta admit that.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Because even if they have been doing it in their home for a very long time,
Correct.
The skills behind, you know, expanding yourself and going into the fashion industry furthermore,
Correct.
it came from your production.
Right.
You know? Right. And I know one designer who is also from Minneapolis, and she
Kenya.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
But we were like good friends here, you know, for a little while. But, you know, like her showcase there, and then another designer from Minnesota.
Right.
And now what they're doing. They're doing amazing things.
I mean, she went on, I think
it's almost like that's the open door.
Right. So I think her line is called House of HOC, House of Creatives or something like that. You know, she came to Ankara Fest, and I saw her line before Ankara Fest, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I want to be there. Yeah. Came to Ankara Fest. Then from there, she went on to do arts festival or something like that, a fashion show. She did that. She came back.
That was in LA, right?
In LA. Yes, she came back to do that. It was great. Then she came back to LA. Then she's styling celebrates to Essence Festival, to events in Hollywood. and it's been great. And for
I
us,
think most of them moved there.
yeah, I mean, it's see, so for me and my team, those are things that we want to see. Those are the platform. That's the platform we want to give African designers, so they can. I mean, when you talk about fashion, you're mainly talking, in the United States.
You guys nailed it.
LA, New York, and a few other cities like that. And when designers get to come out there, and people, consumers in LA are like, oh my God, who's this? What is this? Can this person style me? Can this person? Can I try out this? Can I try out that?
Yeah.
And to go ahead and see them doing bigger things. It's always a joy for Ankara Fest. It's always a joy for us. It's always and many of them get to say, listen, this is where I really showcase. This is one of my biggest shows that I showcased at, and people get to look at that and then follow suit. So I think all of that put together is what has made us what has gotten us where we are today, and what has made Ankara Fest what it is, in the fashion industry. Yeah.
No, you guys nailed it.
We try. We don't think we don't think we're there yet. We're still working. We're still working.
It's like every time I go to LA, it's always this excitement. To go to LA. Yeah. It's like I could go to every single state every year if I could afford it.
It's 3 days.
I go every year.
It's 3 days of non-stop. Non-stop
It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's non-stop fun.
Like you guys have these workshops and these welcome parties, and then the big show, and then the after party, and then like all African everything. It's a whole different world of Africa. Yeah.
It is amazing. It's amazing to see the growth. Yeah.
Wow. I always have fun. I come back all wonderful. And I was like, I just came. It's like an all-star party,
right. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
And not only that, you also have musicians that come to your show and perform.
So the entertainment industry of Africa, right? So one of the main reasons why I started Ankara Festival was, there was so much negativity out there, with 419 and email scams from Nigeria, and hungry kids
in Africa and here,
right? Hungry kids, Africa. Those are the things that they show. There's no real positivity coming out of the continent, right? And I'm talking like, it's been forever, but I'm talking mainly like late 2009, late 2000, 2008, 2009. There was no positive image of Africa anywhere, right? That the media keeps recycling. There's none. They only recycle the bad, right? Our movie industry is if not second or third, arguably, we're somewhere there right after Hollywood, and that is not on the forefront. In the late 2000s, that was not the thing that they talk about, right? They still just talk about poverty and hunger and fraud and corruption and all that, but they're not celebrating even our little wins. They were not celebrating it, right? So Nollywood is there. It's out there in the Caribbean. It's all over Africa. It's huge. It's either beating Bollywood or right at par with Bollywood. So I looked at that, and I looked at the music industry. The Afrobeat industry, the African music industry. That was another thing that was putting Africa on the map positively. The movie is doing its thing, right? Then the music is doing its thing. Then the fashion is on the up and up, right? So these things are not being celebrated. So I sat down like, what if we merge these three industries that are putting Africa on the map positively? What if we merge them and produce a show around these three industries?
Oh my God, you just give me chills.
Right? Yeah. What if we create a show around these three industries, right? Because the designers are there, they need to be seen. They need to be checked out because we have really good, even back then, as far back, it's been going for a long time. It's way better now because, we think it gets, with everything, it gets better with time. So that's why you see our hosts will always be either comedians or actors, right? Our hosts will be from that industry, right? Then the music part comes in where we would get local artists and then we'll bring a major artist from any part of Africa, a major one from any part of Africa. And we have our local artists here join them, just like the the fashion. We'll bring a headlining designer. Could be Kotomomolu, could be Kahindo Matine. You know, it could be any of the major ones that probably have been on the Tyra Banks show. Is it a Tyra Banks show? One of the shows. I can't remember now. This fashion show that airs, that they have like competition. I can't remember what it's called, but you know, African artists are beginning to be on that show as well. So we'll look at it and say, hey, can you come headline Ankara Festival? So at least this up and coming designers like you, the Sumari, Kolovan can then see you headlining this show.
I got pictures.
Right? Headlining this show and then learn from you. So we merged those three to produce Ankara Festival. So it's, like I said, it's not a fashion week. It's a celebration. Ankara Fest is a celebration of our wins, mainly. It's a celebration of our wins. That's why you get designers from all parts of Africa that are available or that are willing to come. For people to see, yes, Ankara from West Africa or designers from Nigeria, they design this way, culturally inspired, right? Your designs from East Africa, from you know, Ethiopia or Sudan, you have a different culture, a different way you guys rock your design. So we all have this material, right? But we style it differently. We rock it differently. Why don't we come together and showcase how we do this thing?
Africa.
You gotta say, why don't we get and showcase how we do this thing? And once we showcase all of this, then we dance to it and say, hey, you know, there's the food, there's the comedy. So it's a celebration of our wins, really. And that's how we've been doing it. You know,
how are you still humble? Like, seriously.
I mean, it's not. You have to
because like, I'm stunned by everything you're telling me. You know, I'm really stunned, and I see it all. I've seen, like, I didn't even see the whole thing, but you know, I saw majority of it, and it's almost like, of course, you know, you brought the fashion, you brought the music, even through your DJ and all that stuff you're doing, and you're also like helping entrepreneurs and businesses, and you just brought this complete different image of the African culture.
It's so you have to understand. You have to understand. It's not about me. So there's no way I'm going to be walking around and, you know, it's not about me. It's about the culture. It's about the country. It's all for the, when they say for the culture, that's exactly what it is. As long as we're winning. As long as we're winning, that's what matters, especially to me and my team, because I have people on my team that don't get paid, right? And they put in time, effort, even their money, right? And say,
I've seen how they work.
I say, Lentini, we're doing this stuff. Sometimes, some days I'm tired. Some days I'm like, I'm not inspired, and my team will be like, boss, what's wrong with you? We're doing this stuff. So again.
That is purpose.
They see the dream. They see the dream. They see what I'm trying to do. And I can't do it by myself, right? But they see it. And it's up to people to buy into that or believe that dream or buy into the dream and say, this is great. We're going to help you. I see that you're doing something good for the culture. We're here to support you. We're here to support you. We're here to help you. So I have people on my team 6-7 years till date that don't get paid. Like, oh, I'm only going to do it for this amount, or I'm going to do it for that amount. I never hear that. It's all about that they're heard, right? And I might come up with an idea and I'll put it to my team. I'll say, convince me why we shouldn't do it this way. And you know, when you have a talented team as well, and you see the team just like, no, why don't we do it this way? I think this is it. You're right, but we can do it. Then it becomes a collective effort to produce an amazing show like that. So at the end of the day, we all win. So it's not one person. If you've always watched at the end of the show, the team, I would always call the team out on stage. Like, listen, guys, yes, I might be the face of this brand, but these people you see beside me, these are the backbones. These are like the people that make the show thick, you know, and they're from all parts of the continent. You know? And, you know, we also decided to start having faces of the brand, having a brand ambassador, right? There's a young models, young actors, young designers. You know, these are people who want to do something with their life, who are in LA, or in California, but these are people who want to do something. We look at that and say, how can we help this person get to the next level? How can we help this model get to the next level? And we say, hey, we put out a competition, everybody applies, and the team goes and, and just checks everything out, and then, they select a winner. So this person then becomes the face of the brand, right? Get a magazine cover. They get a magazine cover. They get to do all the shoots. They get to go to any major show that we put together, that is put together by any fashion, any fashion show that is, any big fashion show that is out there. They get to represent, the show. They get to host. They get to host the Ankara Fest all white party, that year. So things like that. So we put them out there for people to see them, know who they are, and that gives whoever it is another booster to say, you know what, I think I'm doing something right. So anyhow we can provide that platform, we tend to do that.
Gosh, I could listen to you all day. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you guys have it. We're gonna take a short break, so I'm gonna give you guys a little bit more update on some of these exciting things we're talking about. This is Peter Lentini here, you guys. Like, he is extravaganza. Like, he is amazing. Check him out on Facebook as Peter Lentini, and his production event is Ankara Festival LA. You should find it. Even if you Google it, it will pull up all the links, including Instagram. So Instagram, Ankara Festival LA. You have to see the work he has done. Like, it's absolutely amazing. Like, he's gifted. This is just God's gift to him. It's purpose. That's a purpose. Everything he has said there. So for now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more information. So definitely watch all the live streams we have. Check out the website to watch the live stream there. Also YouTube, the live stream is available. And Facebook, as you guys watch the live stream right now. And also wonderful news that we have spreading out is that the app is available on both Android and iPhone. So whichever phone you have, doesn't really matter. For Android, go to your app store and then download Tempo Afrique TV. This is a very wide, broad network for all over the world, from here, broadcast here in the United States, broadcast all over the world, including Africa and all the other diaspora around the world. So download the app on your phone so that you never miss any of the shows or the live streams that we have going on. There's always something going on. So we are the voice, and we want to keep spreading the news to you. For Apple, go to your Apple store, App Store, and then download it there. So Tempo Afrique TV. Download the app. It's available. It's available now. This is a whole new step. It's a different step to a whole different level. So now we're going to get back to Peter Lentini, our guest here. So as you guys heard, if you haven't watched this video from the beginning, after the end of the live stream, watch the whole entire thing, because these are the most educational things that you probably will not just randomly hear from people, okay? Where does the success from? It comes from those who have been given the purpose. And this man is just amazing. So he's here in Minnesota Live right now, flying all the way from LA. All right, so Mr. Lentini, give us a little bit about your background. So you say you were born in Nigeria.
Yeah, I was born in Lagos, Nigeria.
When you were in Nigeria, did you thought of all of this?
Obviously, back in Nigeria.
I know in Africa, like our gifts and talents are.
Africa. Let's not talk about Africa, because when we talk about Africa, it's 3 years we're not done. No, I did not know that my path would turn out this way. But yeah, I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. I grew up in entertainment. I'll say that. As a young kid growing up in Lagos, I was fortunate enough to live very close to, the creator of Afrobeat, Fela Anikulapo Kuti. I was fortunate, enough to grow up in that area. So he had this place called the African Shrine. The African Shrine is where Fela performs his live music on Fridays and Saturdays. Then on Sunday, his son Femi Kuti would perform. So this was like a live show spot, right? And at that time, the biggest or the most popular spot in all of Nigeria, right? And it happened to be in the hood, right, where I grew up. So I would always go to the shrine very early in the morning. So like Friday night, so I'll wake up, I don't know, 3, 4 a.m., probably sneak out of the house and go to the shrine. So at the shrine, so I'm talking about maybe I was like probably, I don't know, 10, 11 at that time, 12. So when I'm at the shrine, I would see Nigerian celebrities at that time, that I always saw on TV. But at the shrine gave me the opportunity to see all the celebrities back then, biggest celebrities in Nigeria at that time. So the shrine was where I would see them. So I would go to the shrine a lot. I would see watch Fela live, come back on Sunday, watch Femi live, and all that. So entertainment had been my thing back then. I think one of the biggest events that I put together was the street carnival. Before I left Nigeria, there was this phenomenon that was going across Lagos or Nigeria. It was called the street carnival. So every street would put together a carnival every December, during December and January. So it would have
already ambitious.
I know, right? So it would have a theme. It would have a theme and all of that. So imagine this: every street in that community, in that state, almost every street would have a carnival. So it was nights after nights after nights after nights after nights of just pure madness, right? So I was able to put one together, which cost me a lot, right, to do. That was the first one, and that was the first and only one I think I did before I left. But it did take a lot, of guts. It took a lot of determination to make that happen. And I think we titled it Small London because my street was like 12 or 14 houses on that street. I had a lot of fights with people who didn't want to pay because we had a task.
Does anyone look at you and say, "This is going to be something one day"?
Because then we had a task. We had a task every house. Every house had to pay a certain fee. Every business on my street had to pay a certain fee for us to get enough money to be able to put the show together. It would, and it was, unlimited drinks, unlimited food, and obviously pay for entertainment. But yeah, some people didn't want to pay, so we would fight, we would argue, we would, take each other to the police station, and we'll be back. But we made it happen. In the end of the day, we made it happen. So that was my only event that I did put together myself. Right before then, I used to work with this entertainment outfit called Kose. Kose was more of a production and marketing company that would help brand market their events, market their product via events. So I worked with Kose there, and we did the live in Lagos, jumping in Kano or kicking in Kano. Different cities would have different taglines, and it would be us just working that brand, like Benson and Hedges or Coca-Cola or Guinness. So those were my stints in a bit of entertainment and production and all that. When I moved to the United States, I came to my area where I stayed was the Bay Area. When I stayed in the Bay Area, there was nothing happening in the Bay Area. Everyone was either in the .com industry at that point, in the health industry.
You're like, let's start something.
The health industry, something. and I'm at 23 when I came, and I was already in entertainment fully. Like everything was all bubbling, and I was like, why is this town so dry? Like, what can we do? So I started the Nigerian Bay Area Association. With help with some friends as well, Sage, Olumide, Sheyi, and a few other people like that. Then from there, we started the Nigeria Bay Entertainment. So the entertainment part of it obviously was to throw a lot of club parties or picnics and different things like that. I remember back then I would have the purple party, pink party, or red. Code red, code black. We did an Obama party when he won back then, code black, and just Afro Halloween. And we did all kinds of parties in the Bay Area at that time just to kick off the Afrobeat scene or African entertainment in the Bay Area. If you go to the Bay Area,
like Afrobeat took off.
If you go to the Bay Area today,
Yeah.
it's crazy with events. And that's a good thing. When I moved out to Los Angeles in 2009, there were things happening in Los Angeles, but it wasn't. They were, especially in the African industry, in the African community, but they were in pockets. The Liberians were doing their own thing, the Nigerians were obviously doing their own thing, the Kenyans were doing their own things, the Ugandans were doing their own, the Sierra Leoneans, so everybody was doing their own thing. So when I came to LA, so the first thing that occurred to me at that time was, this is the capital of entertainment in the entire world. Like, LA is the capital of entertainment in the world. Why is Africa not represented? That was the first thing. Like, why is Africa not represented? Like,
I knew you would ask that.
like, why are we not doing something Africa related that is as big or almost as big as any other community, right? So that was the first question. And the second thing was, I didn't want to be in that bubble, right? I didn't want to be in that Nigerian bubble. I didn't want to be, Ugandan bubble. Like, I wanted to do something that would get people out from their different pockets,
like, come over
and
here.
then make and do something big and do, So that's partly why Ankara first started. That's partly why the Afrobeat, when I started the Afrobeat entertainment industry in Los Angeles, that was the goal. The goal was not to be a Nigerian event. The goal was not to be a Nigerian DJ. My goal was to be a Nigerian and an African entertainer, right? An African DJ, or, putting together an African event. So with my events, with the partying and the concerts and all that, I was able to have, Africans from different parts of Africa show up at the event, have a good time, and then go home. You
did it.
And same way with Ankara Fest. You wouldn't find all Nigerian designers or all Ghanaian designers. You would find designers from different parts of Africa, and that's how we would select it. Like, when we get all these designer applications, because in part of the application is where, country of origin in Africa. You put your country of origin there. So when we look at all these designers, when we get all these applications, we then first off then separate them by region. Separate them, then we now look at their designs. We now look at what they have, what they have to showcase, and all of that. Then we decide like that. Like, okay, what's the best one out of East Africa, or how many really really good designs are from East Africa and stuff like that. So first of all, we want to make sure that most part, because sometimes we can't get all of them. Most part of Africa is represented, right? Then once we do that, then we pick out like the best collections, right? So when you watch the show on the runway, you're not looking at designs like, what is this, right? So every line that comes out on that runway, you're wowed by every single collection. Like, wow, that's nice. Oh my God, which is the goal. So everything I've done in the entertainment industry, both fashion, music, and all that, has always been, Africa wide. People come and meet other Africans, and where are you from? Oh, I'm from Malawi. Malawi. Never seen anybody. Or where is that? Educate that person. They have a new friend from another country in Africa. So that's it helps. It helps. It's amazing. Amazing how these things turn out.
I really admire that a lot. So that was one of the reasons I have like Jewel of Africa.
Yeah.
Because when I started traveling to Africa,
right,
I would go to different parts of Africa in the country,
right,
because I was raised here.
Yeah.
So having to learn about Africa was like a total different world and a complete different excitement.
Right.
I was like, wait, so Moroccans and Egyptians and South African and West Africa, Central Africa,
right,
they're all different people of color.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that really fascinated me a lot.
Yeah.
So I wanted to learn more.
Right.
Oh, what do these guys wear? What do these guys wear? What do these guys wear? Because when if you were to just put them on the map and talk about them, like people are like, those people are Africans.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, looking at the Moroccans, they all look pretty Italian.
Yep.
Yeah. But they're Africans.
Yes.
And so when I was like, yeah, they're Africans,
It's amazing. I mean, we're so what's the word? Was so diverse.
Very diverse.
But we're the same people.
We're the same.
So it's amazing. It's amazing to see. I mean, I like, again, I take pride in that I know a lot of people that are not Nigerians. But African people that are not Nigerians. It's a pride. It's a thing of pride for me.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. I mean, like, I'm truly inspired by you. I feel like you are like the foundation of collecting each country and putting them all on one plate. And say, now you guys are all together. Let's see what you guys can do next.
Yeah. There was a guy that came to LA. So before he came, someone I told him, oh, if you're going to LA, make sure you talk to Lentini. So Ayoshuna is like amazing. He's been, like, when I was like little, he's been doing stuff back then. So now he's doing a documentary about the Nigerian music or Afrobeat, right? So he's talking to those who've done it in the past and those who are doing it now, and those in between, like the DJs, the producers, and all of that stuff. So he's coming to LA. So then he inboxed me on IG and said, hey boss, how you doing? This is Ayo here. I'm coming to LA. This is what I'm working on. And someone said I have to talk to you, that you're the king of Afrobeat. And I said, no. I'm not the king of Afrobeat. I'm just a messenger. This is my job was to come and start something in either the Bay Area or in Los Angeles, and then have others take it from there. Because there were things I did perfectly well, and there are things I didn't do right. Because the goal was at least to start something, and then it gets better. It gets better from there. So like when I sit down now and look at Los Angeles and see all these African events, Afro this, Afro that, Afro he, Afro she, Afro whom, Afro where, Afro we,
it's everywhere now.
It's everywhere. So that's
an amazing thing.
It's a thing of pride. Like I can for once sit down and say, okay, cool. I'm not doing anything this year or this month or this week. Let me go and enjoy myself and have fun and bask in this Afro glory.
Right now, Afrobeat is everything.
I know.
Seriously, even the American musicians, celebrities are on it.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's a thing of joy to see that and to enjoy it, bask in it, and then keep supporting the growth. Like one of the reasons why I'm in Minnesota. I've never been here. It's for me to come, put a face to it and support and just also enjoy it. Now this year, Ankara Fest is on pause. Like we decided to just take a break.
You see why I'm so excited? I hope you understand now. Because it's like when you're a child and you have this dream and you find like the perfect person, you can look up to, and you can just observe and pay attention to what they do. Like that just brings so much joy.
Yeah. Thank you. Same here.
I thank God for it too, that we did connect. Even though we were introduced by a friend that was like, hey, you got to meet this guy and maybe showcase your collection there.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm still gonna thank her, but I'll thank her later for connecting us. But you're changing a lot of people's lives.
Thank you.
You really are. You're not only changing people's lives, but you're also changing the industry. You're changing the world,
Amen to that.
I mean, who would have ever knew how fabulous or amazing Africa is?
Right.
Yeah.
Again, it's
whether it's through music or through
fashion. Or movies and all that.
Movies,
so,
Nollywood, now there's Netflix.
Right. Yeah.
Like you change
month
so much.
in, month out. There's a new movie from Nollywood on Netflix. Like, and it gets better. If you look at when they started, and it's like, oh my God, they shoot movies in like a week, in 2 days, in 3 days. But now there's a whole lot of production behind it. A lot of people are making money. A lot of people's careers are growing on a daily because of that. I think bottom line, it just boils down to us telling our own stories.
Yes.
That's all it is. You got to tell you don't let someone tell your story for you. You have to tell your own story because you're the only one
with so many of us hope.
I'm telling you, like you're the only one, you're the only one individual that can tell your story the way it should be told because you experienced it. If I can't tell your story, I can tell a little bit by I know where you're from, right? I know what you do, I know what you've done in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know what you've been through to get to that point. So I can't tell your story perfectly. So you have to step up to say, this is who I am, and this is what I want you to know me as, right? And this is what I want you to see about me. So either you're telling that story by producing, or designing outfits, or by acting, or singing, or drawing, whatever it is, or dancing. You know, you have to be able to do that. If we don't,
that is true, because those are part of us that tells the story.
If we don't, if you watch Hollywood make a story about an African leader or Africa or something, like, they do a good job, but they don't tell they would never tell you the story the way it is 100%, right? Because they didn't experience it, right? So they just tell it from their own angle and maybe from hearsay, you know, and get a few people to, and that's what it is. So we have to be able to step up in any way, shape, or form, however we can, to tell our story, because we're the only one that can tell it perfectly. Yeah. So that's borderline what it is. In anything you're doing, anything, you got to say, this is it. This is how I want you to see me. This is what I've been through, and this is where I'm at, and this is where I'm headed. Boom.
I'm so humble. All right, we're coming towards the end of the live stream here. So please, if you just happen to find this live stream and you're watching it right now, at the end of the live stream, watch it from the beginning. Maybe you'll understand why I'm so like hyper, you know, and excited. So our guest here, Peter Lentini, he is the man I call the real purpose, the man who was gifted to bring out this, what we enjoy now. Ankara, Afrobeats, Nollywood, everything you could think of that makes a society so bubbly and so great. And, you know, I'm truly inspired, and I'm so thankful, and I thank God for this interview today. I really am.
Same here.
And flying all the way from LA to Nubiultimaterunway show for tomorrow, it was just a perfect moment.
Right.
And you are the perfect guy that I would want here too, because I feel like, you know, doing this show is like a little bit of what I took from you to carry it on.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I feel like you have to be here.
I've been looking forward.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to being
it's
here.
like we're also working to make you proud too.
Right.
Like,
So
look what we learned from you know?
Yeah, it's a thing of joy.
Yeah.
I'm truly looking forward to tomorrow's event. You know, again, I get in the back and I just want to enjoy it.
Yes.
I don't want to be in front. I just want to sit in the back, enjoy. I just want to see the whole thing and just smile all through, and, you know, look at designs and see. And I know that's so that's my goal tomorrow. I'm truly looking forward to tomorrow's show, and I know it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be
like
great.
God said, you know, lay out your plan, trust in Him,
right?
And your work will be so great, and be proud of it.
Yeah. Amen to that.
You should
Amen
be proud.
to that.
And I love that you're so humble. You're not like out there saying, "Hey, I did this, I did that." You know, don't worry, I'll do it. I'll do it. You know, I'm gonna be like the one. I'm always excited. You know, I'm always happy for this. This is changing the world.
Yeah,
it really has changed the world.
There's a lot
here
more
in America.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The United States.
We're
Afrobeat, you guys. Like, it's the hit. It's the bomb.
Right.
So, before we close the live stream, I'm going to give you guys a little bit more information about tomorrow. How do you feel about the show tomorrow? What are your thoughts?
I've seen the growth. I've seen, you know, some of your past collections, and I know this one. So yeah, I know it's gonna be an awesome show. So I just want to come and enjoy it.
I remember when we were talking, I was like, "Oh my God, you're coming!" You know, like, I'm gonna be so thrilled of what I have done with Ankara.
I'm looking forward.
Even though I'm from Ethiopia, you know, all the way from the east.
So again, with Ankara, the fabric isn't almost,
Yes.
if not in every
Very
single
rich.
African country. The fabric is there,
It's
you
there.
know, in Ankara product, Ankara material.
Mhm.
And we use it in different ways, style it in
ways.
different ways. So we all,
Yes.
every single country has it,
Yeah.
you know. Culturally, it's, you know, and you
It's
know,
like
the
a
design,
solid foundation.
is
Yeah,
it's
this Ankara,
endless.
that's Ankara.
It's endless to what you
Yeah.
can have on
It
that.
is.
So that's why it's been there for, you know, and it's always going to be there. I was watching a documentary from 1977, a documentary called Festac 77. There was a country, I can't remember what, I think one of the African countries or Pan-African countries that were marching through, you know, displaying, had on a fabric that I wore in 2016. And I was like, wait, this fabric has been in existence since the 70s and it's still there. Like, that's what I wore for the Ankara Festival in I think 2016, you know, or 17. So again, it's endless. It's been there and it's always going to be there. You know, it's not going anywhere.
I studied a little bit of that history too. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it's going to continue on. And I feel like this fabric here, it's going to come up on top.
Oh yeah, we've put a crack. We've cracked that ceiling already. We've cracked that ceiling.
Like right now, high schoolers are wearing it to prom. African nights or even college nights.
Right. Yeah.
You have celebrity wearing it now to Grammys.
Yeah, we've cracked that ceiling. We're gonna we've put a crack in it. We're gonna shatter it. Give it another 2-3 years. And I mean, knowing we Africans, we're relentless. Yeah. We were born to hustle. Just give us that opportunity. It was just an opportunity that we didn't have, you know, that was never really given to us while we were in Africa, and we get a little bit of that. We're not stopping, you know, to see what we're doing with what we've done with Ankara. Now look at what we're doing with it, and I've seen some of your collection on that with, you know, with swimwear. Look at what we're doing.
Oh
with that.
Yes.
So,
oh my gosh.
Listen, we're gonna shatter that. We're gonna shatter the glass or that ceiling in the next couple years, 3 years. It would be, Ankara will be the theme where if you don't have 1 or 2, 3 Ankara fabric in your closet, you would know something is missing, you know. And that's where it's going. We're never going to stop. We're never going to stop because they've opened that. They've given us a little bit of space to, you know, say, oh, take that little space out there. When they come back in the next couple of years, we've built a mansion in that little space. So that's where we're going. It's not going to stop.
We got this.
Yeah, we
got
yes.
All right, you guys. So about the show tomorrow, so it's, the theme is called Jewel of Africa. So it's going to be all Ankara in different styles, different concepts, with the twist of the modern style, the American fashion, made out of our Ankara, all Ankara. So don't miss it. It's going to be at 5 Event Center. Door opens at 7:00 p.m. And the show is going to start right away at 8:00 p.m. And so the estimate show time is about an hour to an hour and a half. So we have 3 segments. I'm really excited for it is the men's suits. So perfect guest, Steve. Don't forget, we're still in a pandemic with the COVID. That's why we have to limit our capacity number. And that's why all the tickets has to be sold online so we could keep track of the number as well. So please come with your face mask. If you forget your face mask, I have the simple one, just so you know. And it's going to be handed out at the door. And once you get to your seat, and everybody's going to be seated by their groups or however distant the seats are going to be, then yes, you can grab your drink and all that stuff. And your temperature will be checked at the door as well. So we got to make sure everybody's well. And so we can all have a good time. And let's put all this that's going on in the United States aside for a day. So we still have it. Fashion industry, we still got to bring that happiness, that joy is what makes us human being in this society. And I'm so thankful for having Peter Lentini join me today on this really special interview. So I'll just have him give you guys a little bit more of how you guys can follow him or connect with him. And if you are a designer, even if you're an American designer that's working with any African theme or that is very supportive in like the African attires, fashions, and things like that, his show is every year. So we'll hear a little bit more about it. And I'm going to post all the links under this video. I'm going to be promoting it throughout the night, all the way till tomorrow, even after the show as well, since he is one of our biggest special guests that is here. So yes, connect with him. Showcase your stuff at Ankara Festival. Believe me, you're going to have the moment of your life.
Right.
Okay? Like, this is a huge platform. And yes, is there anything last that you'd like to say to our audience before we close?
No, I just want to say, most importantly, let's keep staying safe. It's very important. Stay safe out there. Enjoy every moment. This pandemic has given us a pause or a break in life to say, listen, sit down, think through things again, and then, keep going. So just be safe, stay safe, enjoy life however you can, in the most way you can in this pandemic. But make sure you enjoy life. Keep having fun, because like I say, Nigeria, trouble, while know they stop, or trouble know they stop, life will keep throwing things at you. So any opportunity you get out there, get out of town, have fun. Again, you can find me. It's very simple. Peter Lentini. Peter, Lentini, on all social media platforms. My website is peterlentini.com. That's how you can find me. Next year, we plan on going to New York. The plan is on there for New York and Ankara Fest New York. So I'm going to put it out here. We also plan on going to Atlanta. We also plan on going to Chicago. But next year, Ankara Fest will be back. We just took a break this year due to the pandemic, but we'll be back next year. Things are already moving on behind the scenes. So, hey, we're looking forward to an amazing 2021. 2020 didn't exist in my calendar. So
that's why you canceled it out.
It's gone. So
I'm excited. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
It's just getting better. So like he mentioned, it's gonna go to New York, it's gonna go to Miami.
Right.
Like, I'm so excited to go to those places too.
It will be. It will be great.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Watch this video from the beginning. And for all of you that have bought your tickets, see you tomorrow. And if you'd like to say hi, come to the show. Well, it's only the people who bought their tickets. So yes, see you tomorrow at 7:00 at 5 Event Center. Everything is linked on Newbie Collection page. Good night.
Good night. That was awesome.